You're about to watch a free clip of Old School. If you like it, wait till you see the whole episode. All the episodes in their entirety are available for members. Become a member by going to tyt.com/join.
Ye Old School is what you've stumbled upon. I'm Jayar. That guy right there is Richard Strom. Ricky, he gets called it all.
Don't matter.
But you might know him. I mean, he's old school enough. You might know him famous for TYT Sports, revamping that channel.
Thank you for giving me that credit that I don't need.
Which one?
Appreciate it. Revamping.
Oh, you don't need it?
No.
Oh, well,
no.
Is there something you want to tell me?
No, not at all.
Oh.
No.
It's cool. I'm sure many. I do actually have gotten. People act, there's times when people may recognize people from TYT. Oh, I love TYT. How's Jank doing? Oh, what's up? So I get it every once in a while. And more on the later end of it, phone buzzing, bring you the realness of the young Turks. That's an NBA update. Something happened. Maybe it was the Celtics.
What happened?
I don't know. I don't have it tell me everything.
All right, fantastic.
But no, so lately people have, I think I did mention this to you, because I sent the text immediately to Rick.
Yeah.
I said, this guy at the grocery store, local LA grocery store, Ralph's, came up to me and he said, oh, TYT, right? Sports. And I was like, oh, what do you know?
Yeah.
Sports, huh? And then also I went to a Clippers game, for those of you that follow me on Instagram, at Jayar Jackson. I put together some stories when I was at the Clippers game, and I went solo because it's more fun. And
that's more fun?
It is in the suite. It's awesome. You don't have to worry about anyone else.
All right.
And as I was leaving Staples Center, this guy rolls up, he goes, TYT Sports. And I was like, hey, this is some crazy shit.
Fantastic.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, Britton Harden went to a boxing match on Sunday at Microsoft, which is, if anybody knows, it's right by the Staples Center, downtown LA. And this guy keeps looking over. Britton's telling me this story, like, he keeps looking over, and I think he's looking at my girl, because it's like me, my girl, and then dude. And he like keeps looking over, and he's like, yo, I'm about to fuck this dude up if he looks at my girl's ass when she goes to the bathroom. She goes, why is that so funny? It's such a typical like Britton thing to say. And so my buddy Britton,
that's why I was laughing.
His girlfriend gets up, and then he notices, didn't look at his girlfriend's ass, but starts looking at him, and then he goes, I recognize your voice from somewhere. Now, meanwhile, Britton and I haven't done a clip on boxing for a while. It's been a long while, and he's like, I recognize your voice. You were on the Young Turks network. He was like, yeah, and he's like, what do you have coming up? Like, are you guys gonna do boxing again? He's like, just stay tuned. Like, I'm sure we have some stuff cooking.
And what the guy who recognized his voice, it was after Britton said, hey, you look at my girl. Can we curse on here? Did we curse on here? I can't remember which ones we did this on.
I'd say it's up
he
to
goes, look at my girl one more time, I'm gonna you up. Then he went, I recognize that.
Have you ever
the way you say sounds familiar.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten close to kicking someone's ass?
It's totally it's one of the reasons why I asked. I need to know, because there's reactions people have. I have a few things I want to talk about. Richard?
All right, let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten to the point that Britton was at, the breaking point of, if he looks at my girl one more time, I'm gonna beat his ass?
No.
Okay.
How many fights have you been in your life? And I'll answer your question next.
2, and I've lost both of them.
In adulthood, like, or is this like in middle school?
No, adulthood, no. Are you kidding? Do you see this average face? I can't have that getting screwed up.
I've been in 0 fights in my life.
Okay.
I've only had an inclination that my girl was getting looked at. I think it was in college. But the thing is,
all right.
I don't know. I feel like it's so much easier to resolve that. It also depends on your girlfriend. Because since some girlfriends think, oh, don't let this start, I don't want it to be over me, and they start feeling also like it's their fault or something, or don't be an ass. Or actually, you make anger your girl more if you get into a fight over somebody being an asshole or looking at her the wrong way. Now, if they say something or touch, it has to happen, right?
Right.
Which I've never had to deal with. And I don't know, I've been lucky, because I would have gotten into fights. I've just never been confronted with having to.
Okay, so I almost got in a fight, but it wasn't even a fight. I didn't think I did anything wrong. Like, we're in California, I could say it. Sort of like how Brett Kavanaugh loves beer, like I like smoking pot. Like I like smoking the perfect amount and then going out to dinner, because I just see shit so differently. Now, meanwhile, we are at a like kind of nice restaurant. We're going out with our neighbors. There's 4 of us. and we smoked before, and we're there, and there's this one dude who I notice is clogging up the aisle. Like, this is my Larry David moment. Like, don't be that person. It's sort of like when you are behind someone in line, and akin to Larry David, when she asks for literally all 31 flavors before she gets to her final flavor. Do you know what episode I'm talking about? When he's in the ice cream shop?
No. It's been a long time. I've seen them all, but it's been forever.
All right, so best episode by far is the carpool lane, as we certainly do know, when he picks up the hooker just to go to Dodger Stadium because he wants to take the diamond lane. So when he goes in an ice cream shop, she goes, oh, can I try the mint chocolate chip? He's like, yeah, mint chocolate chip, do that one. Oh, and can I try the chocolate? He's like, oh, chocolate, that's a good choice. And then she goes, can I try the banana as well? He goes, oh, I wonder what that tastes like. Banana. And like, he's just being a dick. But like, don't be that person who like pisses off everyone else. I noticed that this one guy is clogging up the entire runway for which waiters, waitresses, hostesses, guests, he's clogging up. This could easily be a 3-lane highway that he's converted into a one-way just because he's being a prick. And so I didn't notice I did this, but as we're walking by, and I'm just like noticing this, and they're just like, it's fine, whatever. As I'm walking by, I go, excuse me, and I just go right through just to be like an asshole. And he's like, well, you then. And I turn around and I said, well, I said, excuse me. And then we just kept going. And then it became a whole thing of me just being an asshole for no reason the entire night.
And he had literally never picked up on what he was doing incorrect?
No, not at all. But I mean, that's people for you.
Yeah, it's the cluelessness. And it happens, I've always said, the way people walk in stores is the way they drive on the roads. They have no idea where they are. They have no idea when they're drifting. They have no idea when they're cutting you off. They have no idea when to turn on their blinker. So
that's a really, really interesting way of thinking about it. Never thought about it that way. What I don't like is when someone is on the phone at the grocery store, because we get it, you got time to kill. But they're just like, oh, well, how's Janet? Do I want Jif? What kind of peanut butter do I want? And they keep asking all these rhetorical questions out loud. And meanwhile, you're just trying to avoid them, but you realize that you're on the same path together.
You're like, they got the Jif. Now they're going for the Welch's jelly.
Jelly's in aisle 3, peanut butter, no, I'm just kidding. What's your one thing that you leave the grocery store with every single time?
Man.
Like, aside from the essentials, I don't give a shit about milk or butter or anything or beer. Like, what is the one thing that you always leave with? I'll tell you mine. I'll give you a second to think about it. You ready? Family-sized tortellini. Oh, it's so good.
Wait, okay, how often? This is the other thing. So this is the reason why it was gonna affect my answers. I go to the store nearly every day. And I heard this is like more of a European thing. It's like a daily stop at the grocery store rather than loading your fridge with $250 worth of groceries.
Right. Where are you shopping?
70% of which go bad.
Rich motherfucker. Where are you shopping?
No, but I'm saying, all you need to do is buy 6 things to spend $200.
Can you buy 6 things at Trader Joe's that will equate to $250?
Yeah.
It's a no.
Alcohol. So
alcohol? Like, how much alcohol for 6? Fuck.
If you buy $40 alcohol, 30, 40, yeah, you can do it.
Like a bottle of wine?
No, the wine you'll for
This
the
is
cheap
very
Charles
similar
Shaw
to Meet the
stuff.
Parents when Ben Stiller goes into the store and he's like, hey, what's the nicest bottle of champagne you have? And the guy's like, Mums. And he's like, oh, you don't have a nicer bottle of wine? And the guy's like, you can get a whole bunch of Mums.
You buy a whole bunch of Mums. That's one of the most underrated moments of the movie.
It's a great movie. It's a phenomenal movie.
No, but like, so I don't get the same things every time, mostly because I buy each day, right? But it's probably cheese. I eat a lot.
What kind of cheese?
Well, the block. It depends on the day.
You get a block of cheese?
Oh yeah, like either cheddar, marble.
Do you have a cheese grater at home?
Absolutely.
Oh man,
you have to have the slicer and the shredder, and then of course the different kinds you can cut it into. It depends on what you're feeling.
So your favorite cheese is what?
I don't know. I don't really have a favorite, but the basic cheddar. You need like a medium, not a sharp, but a medium, and not like a mild because that's a little too bland.
I'm okay with the sharp. I'm cool with the sharp.
Yeah.
What were the points that you wanted to get to, by the way, in your handy dandy notebook?
No, we'll get to, but we're talking about the fights too, because have you been confronted with that? I feel like you never really, you pushed by the guy at the, what was it, like a California pizza kitchen or something? What was it?
Yeah, exactly. It was a rich double date. Just got promoted.
When you shoved by the guy, but he's almost,
I didn't shove him. I just like put my hand on his shoulder and being like, thanks.
Oh, you touched him. You didn't say this part. I thought you said you slid by and said, well, excuse me.
I thought I did.
Oh, I didn't. I missed that you touched him.
I put my left hand on his right shoulder. I was like, excuse me. And I just went right through.
Little known thing that people who don't work with Rick don't realize is he does that to people all the time in studio.
It's only to John Idarola, and it's because it's easy.
And you come in and slap people on the shoulder, right?
Yeah, or like I'll flick his ears or something.
Yeah, so the thing is, I'm picturing how hard you may have slapped the guy on the shoulder. And
I'd say it was like a 7.
Oh. Yeah.
Shut up, Craig.
Okay, we're probably gonna hear some response to this, hopefully, because I wanna know a 7, where people see a 7, from someone hitting you from behind,
from behind
on the shoulder, the wrong person reacts with a swing. So, because that's an aggressive move, and it's cool, but hope you were prepared, because some people
I wanted to prove a point.
It's like a shove. If you start a fight,
it's not a
again,
shove.
This is a guy who's never been in
First
one.
First off, I'm a righty. I'm a righty. This was a lefty, so it really wasn't even that hard. Secondly, I just started walking like 2 days ago.
He doesn't know any of this.
He would.
He could, the karate
in the
kid.
Police report. And the plaintiff just got out of 3 surgeries.
And he's still starting.
And it was amazing. He was walking, and then he was put on his ass.
Yeah. So the thing is, you have to gauge your the physical contact. Now, I don't know. Maybe after that, because I would just bump through enough. You're a svelte guy, but like if I just walk through directly and straight forward and just put my whole wide mass through someone, that's a normal move, but it's still bumping them out of the way.
Right.
So if someone's being a dick and they're standing there and they're most likely they're just oblivious. So what I want to do is alert them. So I'd be like, oh my bad, and just kind of slide through, and he gets kind of separated, and he's like, oh, maybe I was being a dick, and he moves out of the way. Because that's really my objective, for him to realize, hey, you're in the way, without me going, hey, you're in the way.
Yeah, it's different strokes, Jayar.
I'm just saying, I'm surprised you didn't.
I'm not.
Why?
Because he didn't look like someone who would fight.
You gauged, like the.
It's like Shrek when he says like ogres have layers. Like this story is an onion. It has layers.
And your girl was with you at the time? And what did she say? Is she okay with this?
She called me an asshole. As she rightfully should.
And you felt good about yourself that night?
No, I felt kind of bad. It's hanging over my head.
Were you high, like you were saying?
Yes, absolutely.
So you saw things differently. You focused in on his shoulder.
Yes.
And ran through it.
Yes.
Smashed.
Yes.
Come on, man. So never over your girl though. That's the thing. You never had to deal with that.
No.
Because I used to work I had literally 14 jobs when I started with.
What was the worst job you had?
Telemarketing.
Let's talk about this.
And also,
so what was your opening line?
But also Radio Shack too. I had that job. That was actually probably the worst. Oh no. When I sold Fords out in Whittier, which is way suburb of LA, you guys. I sold Fords for like a month and a half. I sold 1 car.
Couldn't crack it, huh?
Oh my God.
What was your pitch?
At Ford?
Yeah.
Well, I was kind of clueless. It was more like, hey, how you doing? I told the story about the Napoleon sales manager that yelled at me that one time. I should have quit that day. It's an old, I've told it way back in the past. There's too many layers. But first, because I had all these jobs from college and at the Young Turks, because I was interning, we were starting up, nobody had any damn money. So I was working at.
How long did you work without getting paid?
Well, I mean, significant, like you throw you a couple dollars after each show, but that's not really paid, like really 20, 30 bucks, 40 bucks, right?
Right.
And, so I don't count that, but 2.5 years.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, I mean, when you're starting something, you gotta start, right?
Yeah, totally.
So anyway, one of the jobs was I worked at LA Fitness. Everyone knows LA Fitness. It's a gym club gym, whatever the hell those things are called. And I was you can't be a personal trainer unless you're certified, obviously. But since I had run track and I knew certain workouts, I can kick your ass real quick, trust me. I can make your legs burn, I can tear your ass up. Because I'll stand there and tell you the track workouts we used to do.
It's a lot of information.
But you'll be very upset. Anyway, so I got a job doing that, but they wouldn't let me be a full trainer because it's illegal. So I was a training salesman or something, right? So I put someone through their first workout and then hand them off to one of the trainers. Because I could at least do that part. So I had to try and sell them on training packages. If it's someone who wants to work on the legs, gym was good for that. If someone wants to do upper body and tone that, hey, Bobby's good for that. So I was talking to the trainers once, and these, for some reason, that's specific LA Fitness. There was 4 guys who were ripped, big and ripped. And they would shoot the shit, talk about stories they do when they went out in Hollywood.
Were they cool with leg day?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're big.
All right.
All around.
Look, I'm just saying, a lot of like roided up bros nowadays, they cheat on leg day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
like a perfect example, and I love him to death. But there's a boxer right now who like, it's very clear he only does upper body. And he's a heavyweight. He's a heavyweight champion.
Wow.
And he has the most like Alfonso Soriano chicken legs that I've seen for like any boxer
he needs
whatsoever.
to have a base.
Yeah, you would think so. Okay, so what's the story?
So anyway, there was a collection of them. They talk about what they did when they went out, and all these guys also were trained in like layers of mixed martial arts. So the big.
Were they like a Dwight Schrute purple belt?
Oh, you know who that is? I don't watch this stuff. So they're all talking about the fun.
You don't know any characters of The Office?
Oh my God, I've never seen The Office.
Oh God. Oh God.
Kidding me? Come on.
Okay. What's a show that you've seen a lot of?
I promise I'll tell you.
Oh fuck. All right.
So anyway, these are the type of guys who are sitting around talking. Well, you've cut me off 4 times.
That's a fair point.
These guys sit around talking and they talk about how they go out and start fights. And these guys were cool. I like talking to them. This was the day I was like, you guys all deserve your ass just absolutely smeared all over the concrete. Because they would start fights. They'd literally go up to guys that was with their girlfriends and start a fight to where the point where he either has to take it or fight and lose anyway, because these guys know how to fight. Like, it's not just a big guy who just is walking around and can't move and can't fight. They know how to fight. So they get bored and start fights. I was like, you guys are the worst kind of people that are alive. But they were talking about it, LA Fitness, sitting around like, oh, we beat that one guy's ass. I was like,
are they a member of the Proud Boys?
It was honestly, it was a mix of a bunch of different ethnicities. It was a black.
I mean,
guy,
it could be.
Yeah. So it's. I think I kind of quit after that. I was over that. It was so bad. So you have to look out for guys like that. The reason I brought that up is because when you slap the guy on the shoulder, you never know what expertise people have. So when you start a fight, analyze. So what you said you did, you looked at him and he looked like a nerd or something, and you're like, he must have never been in a fight in his life.
It's fine.
But you can't start a fight with guys you just don't know what they're about, because you will get.
By the way, the truffle chicken was fantastic. Really good.
So yeah, the 2 fights you did lose were in elementary school though.
No, I was probably like in sophomore in high school, and then I was in like 7th grade, 8th grade.
And you started both of those fights too?
No, I did not. I was the target. And at that point, you know, it's like Friday. Like, you win some, you lose some, except I lost both of them. And like.
But you lived to fight another day.
I lived to fight another day. I'm still here. I got my ass handed to, but whatever. I'm still here. You live and you learn.
You brought up the weed smoking, because full disclosure, I hung out with Rick on New Year's. Everyone, fun times.
That was fun.
And I prefaced it by telling him I have tried smoking twice. No, I've done edibles and I've smoked once, right? I've told the edible story with Jank at Old School before, and
all right.
Refer back to that one. I won't tell it again.
Okay.
But I told Rick, I said, you know what? I have some time. I have some space. We'll smoke tonight. I did.
You did?
Did you see how much I smoked that night?
Yeah, it was a lot. I was pretty surprised. I was floored.
And nothing. It's the same thing that happened the first time.
Yeah, I think it was the alcohol.
But that's what I'm saying. But see, that's what I'm saying. I asked that before.
We played like a lot of beer pong.
But I've asked that before people. I said, if you drink and smoke, does it like not?
No,
does it nullify one of them, or do you feel only drunkenness?
I don't think so. I think what we did wrong was we smoked first and then played. Like, what's the name of the beer fest? Like in the movie Beer Fest, what they're doing is they're taking a bong rip, they take a shot, and then they let out the smoke. Like that f***s you up. And this is for anybody who's like in college right now. Go ahead and have at it. These are free tips. But I think where we kind of screwed up was you did it prior.
So you didn't feel it either?
Not really, no.
Okay, so again, I keep looking out for reaching out to the audience to give me some suggestions, because I keep going around these all different ways to figure out how this works. It hasn't worked yet. And I'm continuing on this assumption that
I think hitting a bong or a steamroller would probably put you in a daze.
This is how detached I am. What the f is a steamroller?
So a steamroller is when it's two open ends, and then there's just a middle part, sort of like where you pull from the bong. That's in the middle towards the tail end. You hold the other side. You light where the weed goes. You fill it up with smoke. You open it, and then you inhale. Or you inhale and then you suck the smoke down and then let it out. There you go.
I'm too old to start.
This is a true story. When I was at Indiana University, there was, what is so funny? This is a true story. I'm not gonna tell bullshit
After his true story, I'm gonna tell a fake one.
I went to Indiana University. I lived in Foster Jenkinson. Basically how it's designed is there's this main road of where like the more well-known dormitories are. And we were in the back. And I befriended a bunch of people on the floor. And it was me, two of my friends in front, and then 3 girls behind us and one of my other friends. And so the 3 of us in front were just like, whatever, we're not carrying anything. They were carrying a steamroller and like a few joints. Why'd you roll your eyes?
I missed something. What event are you at?
Oh no, this is an event. This is like a Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
So there's like a field behind us, and we go up and like we smoke there all the time. And I'm in front of 4 of our other friends, and out of nowhere we see a flashlight come through, and they're like, freeze, don't move. And we're like, oh, and I literally just take off running in the other direction. Like, you remember like Forrest Gump when he was running and then everything just broke off on his legs? That was basically me. So I ran as fast as I could to the opposite side of the dormitory. My other 4 friends got absolutely screwed because they were charged with possession. They were charged with the object of paraphernalia and whatever else they wanted to charge them with. And I am watching as in the dorm now from the 3rd floor, 2nd floor, excuse me, which is where we were. I am watching all these cop cars zoom by us. I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. This is terrible. I need to smoke some more weed just to calm down. And so we did, and like,
who's we? You left all your fucking friends. You said
but like,
we.
That's not to say I don't have any.
No, you said we've got to smoke again. I was like, no.
I said I need to smoke
I
more
thought
weed.
you said we've. Oh, okay.
No, just to chill. And like I was bugging, and there were like a few people that I knew in the dorm. But like, look, we're 18 at this point. This is like, this sucks. This is horrible. And so I wake up the next day. My friends are still not home. And then they tell me what happened, and they just got charged with like everything. But it was like a heavy fine.
Let's say when you get charged with that, what's the consequence?
I don't even remember. They just said they had to pay like a humongous fine.
Did they collect some from you?
No.
We've learned 2 things about Rick tonight.
It wasn't on me.
Rick starts fights with people that he knows can't defend themselves.
I do not.
Was the kid you hit on the shoulder, was he in a wheelchair? Number 2, Rick abandons his friends when they're about to get busted and doing the same shit he's doing.
Oh, I'm sorry. So what you wanted me to do was stay there and be like, oh yeah, actually what happened was, no. At that point, you know what happens? What happens when the party shuts down in high school? It's every man for themselves. All you do is run. That's literally all that you're supposed to do.
Is this Chicago code or is this Indiana code?
I thought it was teenage code.
You were still teenage at the beginning of college, I guess.
18.
Because that's the thing. No, fine, you can do things that, not that you screwed over your friends, just you kind of left
I ran.
them.
They should have ran faster. That's not on me.
Did you assume it was like security? You assume it was the police?
No, I knew it was the police. When they say freeze, I mean, does security really say freeze?
Did you anticipate?
Like, will Jamal say freeze to somebody? He'd be like, excuse me.
Jamal will go, hey.
Yeah. Right this way, Your Highness. Let me sprinkle rose petals for you as you walk right in.
It's actually so funny because nobody knows Jamal's personality, but Jamal will go, hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, he'd be like, so what can I help you with?
Sorry, it's only funny because we know him.
Yeah. Well, that's how we talk.
There's just certain, I don't know, I feel like there must be certain rules. If you're all partaking in this illegal activity, and then also you're running, my first thought would be, if I think this is the cops, I'm waiting for some things to hit me in the back, like bullets.
No, man, no.
So like that's the fear in running.
No.
I
was pretty confident. because they were coming up one way, and when I saw them, I just took off.
But again, you had no thought.
I didn't want to know.
As you're running, you're thinking, are the cops gonna kill me right now?
At that point, you just let your emotions take over, where you're like, this is my decision, I'm going for it, and I'm doing it. And I just did it. And I obviously avoided something terrible happening to me.
You got away is like an illustration of the incompetency of this police force. I don't know, not because of you.
You're diminishing my skills, is what you're saying, which is totally fine.
I don't want to go to the obvious, but I wouldn't have gotten away, and I ran track in college.
You would have gotten away.
Oh no, I wouldn't have gotten away.
You would have gotten away. I was fast when I was like 18, 19 years old. You ran track. If you thought the way I did in this situation, then you would have been fine.
My point.
You know how I know? I was fine. I am
My
the
point
example.
being is, I never ran faster than a speeding bullet.
There were no gunshots.
That's my point.
Oh, that's what you're talking
Shit
about.
would not have happened that way, which is why you think, I can't run from the cops. Now, if I think it's the dorm security, yeah, I'm gonna take it right the fuck off.
Right.
Because what's he gonna say?
Right, I don't know.
What's he gonna do? Not catch me, but if I think it's the cops, this is a life or death situation.
Right.
Let me write the third thing down. White privilege. We're learning a lot about Richard tonight.
What else do you want to know? Ask me anyway.
Yeah, no, the other thought is, because I have a friend, I won't, who cares, no one knows who they are anyway. But they're worried that they've been smoking, we're back on weed, but they've been smoking since they were like in high school. And now we're on our mid to late 30s, right? When should you like stop smoking?
Never.
Like when you have kids?
Never.
Because you have responsibilities, you don't know how your next day is gonna go.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't smoke weed if you're trying to have a kid or get pregnant.
No, but say you already have, say you have a 6-year-old kid, right? And
what's your perfect number of kids?
Now or when I was
No,
young
like
and stupid?
at the end, like how many kids do you want to have?
I don't know. It all. This is the thing. Like I said, when I was young and stupid and didn't realize how much everything costs.
All right.
I was on a 4. I was like, oh, we're going 4, because I come from a family of 5. Right. I'm the youngest of 5 kids. I love that. I have sisters and a brother, right?
Yeah.
But no, not from the parent standpoint. You kidding me?
Well, now, I mean, obviously it's totally
now
different.
I'm like, man, how is this 7-year-old gonna go to college?
Community college.
And you got to think of that in multiple different ways. You're like, hey, you better get those grades.
Oh, bro, Larry Fitzgerald is promoting this University of Phoenix.
I heard a little bit.
You should hit him up. Anna could probably write you a letter recommendation, actually.
From the ashes.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I was on a 4-kid stint at first. Now I'm like, if I have a second, I'm like, okay, totally done now.
All right, I have a random question for you. Change the subject. Who is the worst artist you've ever heard in music?
No, wait a second. I never finished the weed. Did you? When do you stop?
The weed? You sound like Stephen A. Smith.
When do you stop?
When?
Yeah,
I'm
because like I said, my friend asked me this question, and she's like, "Well, I feel like I can't keep doing this forever."
You can. It's all mindset. If you like, yeah, I'm gonna keep it simple, stupid. Like, that's it. It's all mindset. Like if you think like, oh, I gotta stop at this time, you're putting this like unwarranted pressure on yourself for no reason, and then you're just psyching yourself out.
There's reasons, like I said.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to everything. But like for example, my cousins, who are also gonna remain nameless, who are in Chicago, they have 2 kids, and they smoke weed at night all the time. Now, granted, it's not like actual flower, but they try to have like the most potent oil they can to help them sleep. And then maybe when they want to watch a movie at like 9 o'clock and the kids are in bed, they'll smoke it. That's it.
That's the thing. There's still the stigma behind it, even though it's legal in several places now.
Yeah, uphill climb in Chicago though. Honestly.
Yeah, totally, right? So then they're still dealing with that aspect.
Yeah.
Say they're like, oh man, I'm gonna go to the grocery store because, yeah, I've had whatever, the oils. I rub the oils in. And then you can still get busted.
You can.
That's an irresponsible thing to do if you're a 30-year-old parent.
What I love about Los Angeles is that, and we talked about this earlier this week, which is Los Angeles is like, you can fly with an ounce of pot. Once you leave our state, good luck. Like that's it. That's their entire rule. Do whatever you want with this ounce. That's the limit that you can fly with. Fly with an ounce, do whatever you want. You land in Chicago and there's a dog. Hey man, not our problem. You flew out of our state legally, you're going there illegally. Like I just think it's so funny. What?
There has to be something that's universal with that because that doesn't really make much sense, which also, of course, would make you just not do it. because I don't know, maybe you have to then go to illegal means to get your weed in Chicago. And
you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
And then now you're breaking laws, and now there's that problem. That's what I'm saying. All these factors go into whether or not you can still do it, because we're not at the point yet where it's this Colorado, California thing right now, right?
Right, yeah.
And I forget what other states, or
Washington.
is it? No, they've done this. Washington State has done it now. So you can only fly to those 3 places? Is it
No, you just fly out. You fly out of LA, but you definitely can't fly internationally. You can just fly domestic.
Yeah, no, it's. I don't know. Maybe because again, it hasn't affected me enough. I'm like, is that worth it? Because I've heard about that, having to fly out and then you're worried and you're starting to sweat.
Well, you also don't like smoke a lot, so no. The answer is no. It wouldn't be worth it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I'm just wondering because I don't know, you fiends. Sorry.
All right, we're not like, what's that dude's name in Chappelle's show where he's like, hey, like what's his name?
Well,
Leon Biggums.
First time it was Ashy Lays, but you're talking about the crackhead.
I'm talking about the crackhead, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That's a fiend.
We know who we're talking about.
Yeah. Thank you, Tyrone Biggum.
Yeah.
What else you got? What's in there?
Well, this is the thing. I've been making a comeback to the gym, right? And I'm doing running more. So I went to the gym over the weekend every day, early, right? It's the only time you can go. And there's this, I thought of this for this old school because I wonder, there's older cats in the gym. There's a kind of guy in the gym.
There's a lot of guys in the gym. There's a lot of different like citizens that go into like a whole different person in the gym. Should we name them?
Well, no, guys have bathroom culture.
God, the bathroom culture.
And then locker room culture. And then gym culture, right? Or etiquette. Let's put it that way. More like etiquette. Older guys don't give a good shit.
They don't.
Once they get into the locker room.
What's the age where they are like, yeah, I'm just gonna walk around with my balls hanging.
It's like
60s.
I was going mid-50s. I was going 55.
Maybe 55. I mean, like, bro, when I was in Chicago, there were like 70-year-old dudes that would just walk out with their balls hanging.
I'm trying to understand.
And I'm not kidding you. And I'm not gonna get out of frame for this. I'm just gonna move my chair back for a second. One of these dudes would take a blow dryer and go like this to his gooch in a circular counterclockwise motion.
So for people listening,
just and over and over. Hang on, I'm not done. And then he would lift up his sack and continue until it was dry. Like
I was gonna describe for the people listening on podcasts what your positioning is.
Like, look, we're not in like medieval times where we're beefing like with Sansa Stark. Like, you could use a towel. It's okay to not go like air dry for just a minute. But there would be dudes in the locker room, as you said, that don't give a that would just go and blow dry the gooch and walk around naked while they're like doing their hair and shit. It's like,
I see this bothers you a lot.
Well, here's the quick story.
Like what you see? Of course you did, it was old school. So click the subscribe button below and don't forget to ring the bell to never miss another video from the Young Turks.